All right, guys, Zach here with Rigid Inspections, and we're back with part two of this series that I guess, small kind of series I'm doing on my ideal way to finish a basement. And right now I'm just doing one bedroom down here because I've got another kid on the way, and so I'm getting pushed out of my office upstairs. So I'm basically just building out the basement bedroom into an office. But anyways, on the last video, I talked about how I epoxied cracks using that two-part epoxy, which I'll link in the description. You can see I did that one there. And I basically epoxied anywhere where there were where the metal tabs for the concrete forms were, just because sometimes them can tend to leak as well. And I even did cracks that weren't leaking but have the potential to. After that, I did 2 coats of Kills, which is a waterproof paint. And this is what I used here. Again, everything I've been getting is off of Amazon, but this is withstands 12 psi of water. So 2 coats of that on the wall. And then I did a concrete sealer at the bottom to fill the gap where the concrete floor slab and the wall meet, because that is an area where moisture tends to kind of bleed through. You get efflorescence on the walls. Also, radon gas comes through that, which, you know, some of you may not have to worry about depending on where you live in the United States, but around here it's very high. I do radon testing, and so when I got this house and tested it, it was about 26, I think, picocuries, which is the equivalent of, like, I want to say like 2 or 3 packs of cigarettes a day, smoking wise, for your lungs. So anyways, sealed that, so that'll help keep that gas from coming out. Sealed around the window area too. And now what we got is insulation, foam board insulation, which I just got the 1-inch thick stuff because I'm going to lay this along the wall and then frame and then do an R13 fiberglass bat. And I'm doing unfaced, so it won't have the craft paper on it. But what we got here is a 1-inch foam board, so it's R5. So we're gonna have R5 and then framing and then R13. So we'll have about R18 in insulation here in the basement, which will be good for the winter time because we do get some negative temps here, and we tend to have some harsh winters here in the Midwest. So anyways, I'm just going to get started on this. Going to start gluing it up. I got some construction adhesive here, which I'll link that in the description as well. But foam board I got from Menards, which you can basically get that at any kind of home improvement store, Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever. So I'm going to start gluing this up, cut around the window, and then finish all the way to that wall there, which is where the room will stop. And then obviously the rest is interior, so I won't be insulating that. All right, so I was gonna do time lapse. I did a little bit of a time lapse, but ended up having to lay it down, kind of cut it out. But I got the first sheet fit there. The walls aren't exactly 8 feet, so I had to take about 3 inches or so, as you can see, off of the tops of these, and then measured out the window, cut around that. So I'll have to do this next piece, measure on the window, and I think I'm gonna have a little bit of a sliver left just because I went a little bit over 12 feet this way, just to have some sticking out so that it wasn't like right against the framing, just so that when I end up finishing the rest of the basement, I'll have a piece of foam board to connect to, because these have little locking pieces in between them where they lock together. So gonna cut this piece out here, and then this wall here will be pretty easy. No, I don't have to cut anything, just the tops. So we'll continue from there. All right, guys, so got it glued up. It doesn't have to be glued like super awesome, really just enough to hold it, because the framing is really what's going to hold it in place once you get the wall framed up right up against this. But I got the chair wedged up there. I added a little bit more glue around the window part just so that it would stay up there. But that's that wall there. Get started on this wall. Probably won't film any of that. All right, everyone. So I got the insulation up, glued it up. It's not like super tight, but it'll hold enough until framing gets in there. And then once we start framing, we'll frame right up against it, kind of push it up against the wall a little bit better. There's Wilbur. Say hi, Wilbur. I used a couple cans of spray foam, which I'll link those in the description as well. But kind of filled some of the gaps because some of this board was had some chunks taken out of it. I filled around the beam. As you can see, the beam pocket itself has that mortar mix in it, but I wanted to insulate around it as well, so I did that. Did the corner here where those two joints meet, and then where the radon mitigation pipe exits and the radon mitigation fan wiring goes through the rim here, I insulated around those as well, because those were not insulated because they were installed after the spray foam was put in. So also went around a couple other things, refrigerant line entries right there. Had a cable line from my internet right there, so just kind of went over a couple more things, but that's it until we start framing. I did pick up some paint because I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just paint the ceiling black instead of drywalling it, because I'm wanting to get it like the vibe I'm going for, I guess, is kind of like a dark kind of like, I guess, whiskey room area. So that that's my son. So that's it for now. So we'll see you guys on the next video. Hopefully we'll have some framing in and be starting electrical in that.